Hello, Joe here, GoonerTube, and we are sat outside the Emirates Stadium once again, slightly less sunny than it was before when I did a preview show with Dawse, who's over here. Hello, Dawse, how are you, mate?
Not too bad, Joe. Yourself?
Good, yeah, good,
Yeah.
thank you, yeah, all good. Like I say, a little bit colder today. We're all jacketed up and got my scarf on, ready for the winter. Winter's definitely here. And we're also joined with Kaya today. Hello, Kaya.
Hello, mate. How are you?
All good? Yeah, all good. Yeah, it's all good.
Mate,
it's all good. And we're here just to talk about the Liverpool game, which is going to be, I suppose, by the time this goes out, it's going to be today, isn't it?
Yeah,
Going to be
mate,
today.
yeah.
So yeah, we're going to be talking about the Premier League Liverpool match, which we were discussing before is going to be a very, very tough game, as one would expect it to be with when you go and you visit the champions, especially at a place like Anfield, which is normally very intimidating with the crowd. Maybe not so intimidating, but this is Liverpool we're talking about, and under Klopp they've done some wonderful things. So we were discussing about how we think the game's going to go, and we'll start with you, Dawse. We were saying that, you know, the lineup, the way he's going to put the lineup out, and how you think the formation's going to be. How do you see it sort of going? What do you think he's going to put out there? Do you think he's going to want to go out there and attack teams like he's been doing, or do you think he's going to want to sort of consolidate for a little while?
Well, you know what you're going to get with Liverpool, aren't you? They're going to be on fire. So I think he's just try and pack out the midfield, get old Nenny in there, bit of legs, help out Xhaka a bit. I could see him, every big game he seems to make the Knowles in as well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So,
You think El Neni, he wants to start? You're going to start him just to break it all up, break the
yeah,
play up.
and hopefully 75 minutes, 70 minutes in, maybe get the likes of Danny Ceballos in there and all, you know, create a bit. Depending on how the result is at the moment.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Kaya, any
Well, look, I think he's going to go defensive. I think the difference between Arteta and managers before, like Emery and Wenger, they were a little bit deluded. They used to try and sort of play, you know, the same style as the better teams of Barcelona and Liverpool and stuff like that. We got found out too many times. I think Arteta's fully aware of that, so he shuts up shop, a bit like he did against Man City. You know, I think we only had 35-40% possession in that game, and we still, you know, other than Raheem Sterling's shot, I don't really remember too many chances that they had. So I think he's aware of our limitations, and I think he knows how to set the team up defensively first. So I think we'll shut them out in the first half. You know, I'm not going to say we're going to win the game. Yeah, I don't know. You know, I think we can get a draw, but I can't sit here and say we're going to beat Liverpool at Anfield at the moment.
Well, talking of beating Liverpool at Anfield, Dawes, the last time we beat Liverpool at Anfield, you mentioned it just before we started this segment.
2012.
2012 was the last time we beat.
Podolski and Cazorla.
Podolski and Cazorla.
Santi Cazorla. Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah,
ago.
that is a long time ago. A really long time ago. So I mean, you know, we could certainly. I mean, we certainly, if we've got any chance of winning at Anfield, it's probably going to be now. We are on a high.
Get slapped, Joe.
No,
Tired of going up there and just getting annihilated in the first half. You remember when Maitland-Niles scored in the first half? What was it, a year ago, 2 years ago? And then they just tore us apart.
Yeah.
Game seems to be over after 25
Yeah,
minutes.
it's just, you know, I want to watch it and at least be in the game at half time.
I think Mikel Arteta is going to make the players aware of that, and I think that's the reason why when you're saying about he's going to the way he's going to set up is purely based on the fact that he's not going to want to be too loose at the start. He's going to want to keep you nice and tight. And going on that, how can you see him setting up defensively?
Well, I think Saka won't play. I think he'll play Maitland-Niles, as you said, on the left there, because Maitland-Niles better defensively, maybe. I think so. I'm not sure. I think Bellerin will play on the right. I think he'll go with a back three. Gabriel, Luiz, probably Holding. And then in the middle, I'd say probably Xhaka, El Neni, Bellerin right, Maitland-Niles left, and then Aubameyang, Lacazette, and probably
I think.
maybe Willian. Yeah, probably Willian.
Okay.
Who sat out against Leicester.
And Maitland-Niles on the left.
Just because he's better tracking back, you know, he has that turn of pace that maybe he's probably a bit quicker than Saka.
Yeah.
And he's not as, you know, forward-minded as Saka is.
Have we got any idea how long Tierney is going to be?
Supposedly he's back in training, I read earlier.
Don't know. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, if he was fit, he'd be there, wouldn't he?
Start, yeah. So I think Holding will start on the right of that back three, Gabriel in the middle. Actually, Gabriel's left-footed.
Yeah.
We bought him because he's a left-footed centre half.
So you maybe put
Maybe put
in
him
the
on the
middle.
left and Luiz in the middle. I would say probably.
Yeah. And so obviously with a three-man defence like that, you can tell that Arteta is going to be fairly cautious about the first sort of 20 minutes, half an hour. He doesn't want to fall into that trap that you were talking about just now about the fact that, you know, 20 minutes against Liverpool, sometimes the game's over. You're 3-0 down before you've even thought about it. So you think that will help to nullify it? And obviously with Xhaka and El Neni, they're both holding midfielders, aren't they? You know, so we're not going to be looking at maybe spraying the ball too much or making too many runs from the middle. So going on that, he's obviously going to be quite cautious, isn't he, if he goes with a setup like that, like Kaya was saying.
Of course, but then you have to look at the likes of Bellerin, who has to have an unbelievable game.
Yeah.
You have to keep the likes of Mane quiet as well. For me, he's their best player.
I think if they can keep him and who else? So
you have got Salah as well.
But,
But the thing is, we've got to go up there and believe we can get a goal as well, because we've got the players to do it. You know, we've got Aubameyang. You know, you're getting beyond. Obviously, you're going to have Robinson and who's the other fella?
Robertson and Trent.
They're going to be trying to bomb on, but then in the back of their minds, they're going to be thinking, we can't.
Well, this is the thing as well. I mean, we all know that we've got some players in that team that have got pace. You know, Aubameyangs of the world and that, and the fact that we've managed to keep hold of him, I think, has made a big difference to the fact that teams are going to be cautious, aren't they, playing out from the back and bombing forward up the wings, because they know that Maitland-Niles is good at tracking, but also he's very, very good at going forward. We know that Bellerin's still a very, very fast player. He'd be good at tracking back and also going forward. So they're going to be cautious of that on the wings, aren't they? You know, especially with the supply.
Our back three will eventually be a back five. I think most of the first half, you'll see Laka dropping in midfield areas. I think we're not really going to, you know, attempt to play around them that much. I think in the first half hour at least. You know, just take the sting out of the game a little bit. Make sure we don't do anything stupid. But that's what Arteta's done, though. He's kind of given those sort of levels of concentration which we've lacked in the past. You know, just switching off for split seconds here and there. So I think that's the difference between him now and, you know, Emery and Wenger, sort of latter Wenger years.
And I mean, how do you see? Let's just, we won't talk about predictions just now, but we've all got something in our mind how we think it's going to go. And we were talking about that before as well. Let's take tomorrow's game out of the equation. How do you see the season going as far as where you think we might possibly finish in the league, and how you feel that with players that are going to be coming in and leaving the club, how you feel we're going to start?
We're going to finish in the
league.
Do you want to take this one first?
You take it.
I think we get top four.
When you say top four, do you mean fourth?
I think this is my prediction. I think Man City will walk away with it. I mean, they were ridiculous against Wolves. You just tore them apart. You know what I mean, I watched the game. I think Liverpool. I think second, third, fourth, and fifth. I think can be any one of Liverpool, Man U, Chelsea, and Arsenal. And I put Liverpool in that because I just don't look. Once you've reached the pinnacle of what they've done, the way they won the league last year, they got pipped at the post the year before, so they've come out all guns blazing last year, walked away with the league, they've won the Champions League, they've been to the final of the Champions League. Like those players, you look at Mane, Firmino, and Salah. They're all 28, 29. Van Dijk 29, Henderson 30 years of age. You know, they're coming towards the latter parts of their careers. They must be thinking in their heads, you know, is there another challenge out there for me? I think Mane especially, you know, Barcelona sniffing around him, Real Madrid sniffing around Salah. So when you lose that little 1 or 2% at that level, and I think it's just a human instinct. I think once you've reached that pinnacle, I think it's human instinct to just occasionally switch off. So you saw that against Leeds. You know, they should have lost that game. They were lucky to win that game. So if Leeds can go up there and do that, then why can't we? You know. So I think Man City win it.
That's what I was just about.
And I think the next four places, don't know. I'm not really worried about Man U. I'm not. Chelsea just shipped goals.
Well, they haven't
fun.
really convinced me so far,
Man United. Chelsea were just shocking yesterday. Did you see that?
Unbelievable. How they got
yeah.
You know, they come back into it in the end, but Frank Lampard.
That's probably just West Brom's inexperience in the league and not
showing
showing shot
on a player that they don't. I mean, did they really need Havertz? They you know, Thiago Silva, I think is going to be too slow for the Premier League, in my opinion. You know, so he took him off, didn't he, in the second half? I think. But
going back to Liverpool, do you think their new signing Alcantara is going to be playing tomorrow? Because he's sublime, isn't he?
He's unbelievable. He just runs games for fun. That's the thing. That's another one. If he does start, you need someone who's just going to, like the likes of El Neni, who's going to do all the dirty work, try and close him down as much as you can, give him no space. Yeah. But you know, we go there, we've got to respect them, but we have to go and play ball ourselves. You know. Yeah. So if we can get any result, draw, win, just sets us up for the next 4 games as well, because we've got the likes of City, Leicester
Sheffield United at home after
Sheffield
that.
United.
Sheffield United are not going to
So
be an
that's-
easy
but that's a
task.
winnable-
Absolutely.
It's a winnable game.
Yeah. But not
they-
going to be easy. Listen.
They lost today.
I know Chris Wilder well. Stayed at his house actually when he was playing for Rotherham. He's a lovely fella, and he eats, lives and breathes football. And he's got that team playing really, really well.
Yeah.
And they will come and try and close us down a bit. And they will also try and play football. I know we're going ahead of ourselves here, a bit like West Ham did. So we can't presume that we're going to walk over the likes of Sheffield United this year. You know, we've got to be very careful with there. But let's keep it with Liverpool for a second. And going on Liverpool, if you could, what's your head saying and what's your heart saying? I'll ask you both this question.
Head saying a draw.
Would you be happy with a draw?
I'll take a draw all day long.
Yeah.
All day long.
I think you've already mentioned that, haven't
Take a draw, and my heart's saying 2-1 Arsenal.
you? Really? Okay, fantastic. Kai?
No, I can't agree more with that. My head's saying the draw is very possible. If we can keep them quiet till half time, you know, because that's when it all goes wrong in the first half for us against that lot. The game's done normally by half time, do you know what I mean? If we can keep them quiet, then we could nick a draw. If we can get the opening goal, can you imagine that?
There's no crowd there either.
Yes, that's
No
another
crowd
thing.
Exactly what I said at the top of the
That's a
segment. Yeah,
fantastic point.
yeah.
Because that crowd, can you imagine playing with that crowd? I mean, you've got to be honest, they're probably...
Well, they used to say, didn't they, when it was all standing at the Kop, they used to say they
The
literally
loudest
used to
crowd.
suck the ball into the net, you
Yeah.
know, back in those days during the 80s and stuff, in the 70s,
Yeah.
when they just scored loads and loads of goals
But that's not
for
changed
fun.
really over the years with them, you know?
No, they've got the players to really punish you, haven't they?
Yeah.
So coming in,
Thiago's an upgrade to what they've already got. But
Exactly.
I think a draw is a
Like a
very
1-1 or a
realistic
2-2?
possibility.
you think teams are going to score? I think there'll be some
I think
scoring.
it'll be goals. I think both teams to score is a banker on your down the bookies.
Yeah.
I don't know what price it is, but I think both teams to
Have
score.
a look at that.
Yeah. But yeah, can we win? I'd like to think so, mate.
I think
I'd
we'd
like
all,
to think so.
I think we'd all like to think we can win at Anfield. I'm sure every team would like to win at Anfield, despite what year and whenever it was. But that's one of the places you, as your football team, would always like to win at. And I'm glad to say that as Arsenal supporters, as an Arsenal supporter, and I know you two boys have followed Arsenal all your lives as well, is that going to Liverpool and winning is something big, despite where they are in the league. It's always nice to go there and win at Anfield. It's like a bragging right thing as well. Since I know some Liverpool supporters down here in London, but another person that did actually mention that they thought it was going to be a draw was Gavin from She Wore a Yellow Ribbon, which you can find on Facebook. So if you go to our Facebook page and then go and search She Wore a Yellow Ribbon, you'll find a really good Facebook page there dedicated to the Arsenal. It's got lots and lots of members on it. Go and join that group, and then you can join the conversation in that group. They post lots of really good stuff. We actually share stuff with them as well. They've been very kind enough to allow us to share stuff with them. So go and give She Wore a follow as well on Facebook if you can. I think today, boys, I think we are done here. But thanks for your predictions.
Thank you, Joe.
And it's been nice talking to both of you. We want to go and get a nice hot cup of tea now, I think, because it's my hands are starting to go over,
it's getting a
and the
bit cold
temperature's really changing really quickly. And we'll be glad to get out of here. But thanks for joining us today. Don't forget you can find us on all forms of social media, and you can press that subscribe button for us. Press the like button and press that notification bell. That means you'll never miss another bit of future content here on GoonerTube. Thanks very much for joining us. We'll see you really soon. Thank you.